Sheesh, that's a short intro. Hello.
That's a quick intro,
Hello,
right?
everybody. I know, you can't even get time to freaking get yourself together.
Not even
For
prepared.
real.
But ladies
But hi, thanks for clicking on our faces. Sorry we're late, but you know how it is over here. We start when we can.
we honestly start on
But
colored
Word
people
up.
time, but that's on my.
yeah,
This one's actually on me, so I do apologize for taking so long, folks.
I'm
CPT,
glad
you
you.
heard. Anyway, hello, everybody.
All right. So today we are going to be talking about episode 2 and 3 of My Adventures with Superman, right? And of course, last week we talked about the first episode. We all seem to enjoy it, but let's see if they keep that train moving in these next couple episodes. Now, episode 2, in my opinion, was the better of the two. I don't know how you guys felt about it. Which out of the two, which ones did you like the best?
I gotta go with three. I think three
Three?
was for me. I think three was for
What
me.
about you, Vic?
Three. Because
Y'all are crazy. Y'all are
it got me
crazy.
wanting to see episode 4.
Wow! Whoa! Not
It
only am
got me
I,
wanting to see episode 4. But, that's.
I gotta say, I was asked for my opinion here, and already was like, "You are crazy." Wow!
Hey,
Season
Silhouette
three.
Animator.
So just say it
Thanks for
back.
tuning
You're
in.
crazy for like an episode 2, girl. What's wrong with you? What's
No,
wrong with
episode
you?
two
How
had
you
so
gonna like
much more
episode
going
2?
on.
No,
Like,
So
okay,
what?
so
episode 2 was trash. Episode 3 was the best. You see, it's simple.
what? No, no, no. Episode 2 had way more going on for it, right? Episode 2, we he went back home. Well, he got a suit for one. We got to take a look at the suits,
You
and
know
it
what?
was. Go
I'll tell
ahead.
you one thing when it came to the
What?
suit.
Uh-huh.
While the suit was coming, I was thinking about like, what's different about this?
Yeah.
That his mother's not involved. And then right away, bomb, she adds
She's
a little
not.
more to the suit. I'm not gonna lie, I appreciated that. I thought that
She
was
put the
cool.
drawers on the suit though. It was
She
better
did put
without
the
the
drawers on the
underwear.
suit. That was it was, I agree. We talked about this last week. I think it was
Yeah.
better without
So
the underwear. What she went in
she
dirty.
messed it up.
Yeah, she did. She did. She
By
did.
giving them the undies, right? The undies on top of the tights, right?
I mean, yeah,
You know what?
she gave him the
They
classics.
didn't show. They didn't show it without the undies. So maybe he was bulging out, and she was like, "My son ain't about to be out here with
Hey,
his stuff
man,
She
wow.
showing."
might she might have
Right.
said she might have said it's a little too much kryptonite there. But
Right.
yeah.
We gotta cover this up.
I wasn't thinking about no bulges, so that's a good point, Chrissy.
He wanted to make it clear, like, hey, I don't know about that, but let's move on.
That's what it is. Like you said last episode, he's a big country boy. That's why
Oh,
he
okay.
gotta cover up.
He do clearly.
But
Yeah.
but okay, we got a couple comments here. Let's see here. Yo, Dan, thanks for joining. Episode 2 was better because Superman did one thing right after a city was destroyed. He stayed and cleaned up. Yep, that's what Superman should have done
That was
in
awful.
MOS, but that's besides the point. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, the best
Now,
judge.
you know what it is? Dan has just clearly showed how biased he is. Oh, he said 2, I said 2. Well, you know what,
2
Dan?
is the better episode.
But thank you for joining
But
us on Sunday. He was fantastic, by the way.
so, and also we got to see a little bit more about his history. His we got that flash of what happened on Krypton. Even though we know the story clearly, it's a very famous story. But this
I don't.
character version of Superman is just learning his history. So we got that background. We got a little tease of Clark and Lois kind of feeling each other. That was coming in this episode. Yeah, a lot happened, y'all.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm
Yeah.
biased. I don't think I'm biased towards episode 3 because of Team Rocket. Like I was just
Wait, what?
Team Rocket.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
The two people, the two reporters
Yes.
that showed
Oh,
up.
you're talking about in 3. Okay,
Yeah.
you're talking about in 3. Okay.
I'm right because that I just popped for that because just the way that they made those people with the headlines with the whole thing, and then they're just introducing themselves and all of that. It really reminded me
Uh-huh.
of Team Rocket from Pokemon.
I
So
didn't know
that
you were a Pokemon fan, Vic.
I mean that shit came out in '98. You know what I mean?
99. No, it's 99.
It was like let's you see what I mean? But
Yeah.
like that came out when cartoons were still on TV and we had But anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, it felt very Team Rocket that whole thing. So I popped for that. I thought that I really looked forward to. I really enjoyed just the introduction of villains that aren't necessarily villains, if that makes sense, because they're like the villains for the reporters. You know,
Yeah, the
there was a
everyday
little
kind
bit
of villain.
of, and then also there was a little bit of like real world in there where like Lois brought in the scoop, but then and it was taken away, like she wasn't given her credit. That whole situation, and then mind you, more importantly, I don't know. And then the other thing, that whole thing when like that little rock that started freezing the whole city. I feel like that
Oh,
was. I feel like that
No, that
was
wasn't a rock. That was a machine. Talking about the
no,
machine.
no, no. Oh, wait,
no,
wait.
no. When they
It's
broke
two
the
separate
machine,
episodes.
when they broke the machine, and then that rock just started freezing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then
remember
No,
that.
okay. So in the second episode, there was the Rock. Leslie, she had like that diamond electric thing in her back.
Yeah, in her back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when she was fighting against Superman, and he was like getting phased by electricity, and that's another thing. Like, why is Superman so weak? That's my issue with it.
But you know what? I think
That's
everyone
true. Why is
keeps
Superman
saying that.
so-
Everyone keeps saying, you
He
gotta
is
remember,
mad
this is like year one Superman. He's still
What's
figuring this out.
Ella?
But he's still figuring out his powers. So you got to remember, even though he can go through walls and all this stuff, and one of the things I liked about episode 3 was that's when he started to understand that he had heat vision,
Heat vision.
and he couldn't control that. This is year one Superman. You have to put that into consideration. This is not. We're so accustomed to Superman already knowing his powers. We already know, like he knows how to fly. He knows how to. But now he's like, oh shoot, I can shoot like flames out my eyes. How do I control that?
Wait a minute. Though.
Listen.
Wait a minute though.
What?
This ain't no
Wait.
year one. This ain't no year one Superman. He's just suppressed because his mother
He's
keeps
had
telling
some
him.
power since he was a kid. We saw him
Facts.
flying around
Exactly.
when he was a
But,
baby.
okay,
just
okay,
scared.
fine, but fair
He was
enough.
soft and now his balls is dropping.
No,
So
okay,
now-
I don't know where his balls
So
are.
now,
I do want to make that
The
clear.
balls behind the red
he's
short.
practicing his powers. So here's
Yeah.
the truth: he was in the country. He could.
But no, y'all not realizing
practicing his powers.
What y'all not realizing is even though he already knew he can fly and he have super speed, heat vision was not something he had as a kid. He's trying to adjust. That's
But,
why
yeah, okay, heat vision,
Right.
but still, a little bit of electricity shouldn't phase Superman. Like, come on now.
but these are
What the
even
hell?
things now. I don't know. Maybe they watered him down or something. But I think this is episode. This is 3 because
Episode
the one
2.
with the no. I know we're talking about 2. I feel like we're jumping all over the place, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're jumping
That's literally what the trio do here. We jump all over the place. So if you give us some hot scotch, we're gonna jump that mofo. But I sit there and go like, "Hey, that's right." But I sit there and go in episode 3. He goes, when he has that interview with Lois. I'm jumping way ahead, but he says, well, she says, "Where are you from?" I'm still learning that. Something. I forgot what else she asked, but he goes, "I'm still learning those things as well." But I'm here to help Metropolis because Metropolis is terrible. And even
Yeah,
he
that was
plays
in
with
episode
superhero
3,
leagues. I know, but I'm
Smallville.
Yeah, well, no, he.
I love Smallville, and he was, still very, he wasn't even Superman when Smallville started. He had all the powers. But anyway, let's read some of these comments here.
Please.
Let's see, Dan. Besides Superman, it occurred to me metahumans are nowhere to be found in this early stage of this DC animated universe yet. Yeah, and honestly, I saw the episode twice, episode 3. And when I first saw it, I thought that they were metahumans, right? But then after watching the second time, I realized, no, this is just powers that they're getting from Leslie, that character's.
It's enhancement. Yep.
Yeah, her illegal.
I don't think it's.
weaponry.
You know what? So you're talking about the powers because they
Yeah.
did mention. Because you're talking about like they were saying, those kids, right? And they were like, "Hey, we got these crazy powers from some crazy woman." In episode 2, that was Amanda Wallace in the back, right?
Yeah, and what's his name? Deathstroke. Wasn't that Deathstroke?
That looked like
Well, listen,
Deathstroke. I know. No, you might. I think you're right.
Could be worse. It could be 20 years into his career, Superman from Young Justice that gets red shorts handed to him by who? Parademons. I honestly, I haven't seen Young Justice, so
Yeah.
Young Justice
that's
is
what happens. Doesn't
Young
it?
Justice is it's fantastic. I haven't seen 3, 4, and I don't know if they're on like season 5. I forget, but Young Justice is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, I'm never a fan of Young Justice Superman. But yeah, it was definitely Deathstroke. I feel like definitely Amanda Waller. I don't know who that other guy was though. Behind the plexiglass.
There was a guy, and I think this is Deathstroke that you was mentioning. That was Deathstroke. But at first I kept saying, "Why is Cloud in this show because he had white hair right there. There was a guy that looked like Cloud. I said, "Is that freaking
Yeah,
Cloud?"
that's him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of looked like, they were the villains, but we're the good guys, yada yada yada. We'll see.
Once you hear that, they're the bad guys. I know that because I said that in my first grade when I said, "Hey, we're the good guys," and I kept getting a minus. So yeah, I know what that means.
But in episode 3 is when we get like the villain of the week thing, and that's why I'm like, I don't understand how you guys think that's the better episode. It's the villain of the week. These guys have no consequence. They're just there for the action of it. And that's it, because these 3 little kids that get the equipment, they're robbing banks, nothing that Superman can't handle. The real
from the lady that that's how it all attaches.
The most important thing I feel like that happened in this episode was Lois wanting to get that interview from Superman.
Yeah.
And of course, Clark is trying to distract her away from it with the crimes of those 3 villains. But she ends up getting that, like we were talking about earlier, she ends up getting that interview with Superman. And he's being honest with her. He's like, look, I don't know. I'm still learning. I don't know what's going on. But apparently she does not believe. She's like, this man is a liar.
Mm-hmm. She don't believe any.
No, but the thing is that it takes one to know one, because she is one of the biggest bullshitters I've ever seen.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man. Yeah, and a thief.
Like, wow. She is no joke. She lies to everybody, only hears what she wants to hear, knows how to steal from everybody. Like, she's gonna be able to spot this a mile away. Like, what happens at
Do
the
you
end
believe that Superman's lying though?
Of course he's lying.
He's not lying. No, he doesn't know anything about where he came from.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but here's the thing. He could. I'm right. You think he's gonna walk into the Daily Planet and be like, "Hey, that's me doing all of those things"? Of course not.
No, but I felt like when Superman said, "I'm still learning these things," I totally believed, and I'm going by the stuff that I've seen. Right. So if I can go back a little bit to episode 2, right, and the spot where when they undig the stuff and it's the Kryptonian technology and everything, and his father's speaking to him, and his father's speaking in a whole nother language. I'm just using all that stuff to put out that he had no idea about any of this stuff. You don't know. This is just, I don't know how old this Clark is. I feel like it's like early 20s.
He's probably in his 20s, yeah.
Yeah, I would say early 20s.
No, they definitely all got early 20s for us.
Right. Okay. Great. So early 20s.
And I'm Gen Z all over it. Sorry.
And then fantastic. I love that when we do Gen Z or Boomer Sooner or whatever it is. But my point is, he's learning all this stuff on the fly. Like, and I use that, and I want to use that when I forget what the father's name is, like the actual father.
Jonathan?
No. It's not John. No, that's his Earth father. But it's like,
oh no.
Now Kal-El is his Kryptonian name. But I forget. Jor-El. His name is Jor-El.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
So Jor-El, and he's talking to him, and when he's like, I don't even understand you. And you can see how hurt Jor-El is, and he shows him everything. He said, did you take me from my... And he had to see this visual of this planet, because he still doesn't know Krypton and all that stuff. My point in trying to get all this, just to wrap up my thoughts here is, could I ask the question, do you think he's lying? I don't believe he's lying. I really believe he's like, yo, I just know I can fly. I just don't know. I don't know about this other stuff, but I'm here to help and try to make a difference. That's all I wanted to get at.
I don't think he's lying. He's Superman. He's a great guy, a stand-up guy.
No, I don't think so. No.
Favorite superhero, the best superhero there is.
Until I represent him in battle.
Look, you're not taking Superman from me. Sorry.
I am taking Superman. I am.
But the lie is the hidden identity. He's not.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
How is that not a lie? Exactly.
It's a secret.
A secret. In order to keep a secret, you got to tell lies.
No, okay, no, it's not a lie. It's a secret. No one's actually flat out asked him as of yet. Hey, Clark, are you Superman?
Okay,
no one.
He would go with the technicalities, right? So no.
So until then, it's just a secret. It's not a lie.
He can tell that he's from Smallville. He could tell her those facts, but he could easily say that. He doesn't have to reveal everything.
There'll be too many coincidences. Too many coincidences. Every time you show up, Clark is gone. They got the same, the height, build. He's also from Smallville. It's going to be too much.
Wait,
Too many
what was
things.
it? Was it Superman 2 that Lois jumped out the window because she knew already? Like, which Superman was it?
I don't know. Are you talking about the one with from the 1970s? Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it.
But the thing is just that like what I like about this whole thing is just they're showing how smart Lois is, because Lois is smart as a whip. And that part of that character has always been the same, and I really really appreciate that, because look, like I said before, this thing's got Gen Z written all over it. However, there are little spots to the past, which is interesting. Still, I still want to know what's the deal with the blue eyes. I want to see more.
Oh, you know what? I saw people were talking about that and saying how it kind of resembled, like, Super Saiyan power up, kind of sort of. And I said I can kind of see that. How does one speak Kryptonian? Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe I wonder if Kryptonian has its own language, like what's his name from Star Trek? Yeah, like Klingon.
Yeah, that shit is on Duolingo, which is crazy.
See, I'm like, how come they don't have? Do they have the same thing for Kryptonian? Superman realized Lois is smarter than him. Yeah, she's a genius compared to him. Superman's not known for his brains. He's known for his bronze and his good character. I don't think DC has figured out yet. So apparently not. There's no Kryptonian language, or you can learn it or anything. Okay, so maybe he's using. No, go ahead, maybe he's using half truths and just joking excuses that Lucifer Morningstar from Lucifer uses when he lies. Maybe we'll see. The more episodes we watch, the more we'll find out.
Absolutely.
But go ahead, Jack. What were we saying?
What was I actually? I was gonna sit here and say, wasn't there a Superman movie where they did with like Jor-El spoke Kryptonian and something was to translate when he was speaking? Or this was the first ever Superman media where they had him do Jor-El speaking Kryptonian, because he was speaking a different language from.
It's been a minute since I watched.
Okay, and I was just curious. I was just curious if that was the case, or this was the first time they ever did it. But you was mentioning something about the blue eyes. I feel like this was their way to kind of include that anime feel, because some that we didn't talk on, and you did mention on episode 2, was about in this episode. This is where we get the suit, and it was totally Sailor Moon-esque. Like when he gets the suit and he does and does all that. I sat there. I actually muted the show and played in the background the transformation Sailor Moon music and the thing, because I used to play that when I tied my shoe, because when I did it right, it was yeah, and I did that, and then I tripped because I messed up.
Sailor Moon could beat Superman.
Hilarious.
In a fight.
Who?
She can. But anyway, one thing I wanted to mention too. I forget if it's episode 2 or episode 3.
Sure.
But it was at one point where Clark had like this flashback, and we saw like I want to say it was on his planet, and it was like robots coming through.
Both episodes had that.
You know what though? I know
both episodes had a little bit of that flashback.
Every time he touches a certain rock, he's getting.
He gets like a flash or something. But if you guys watched Superman and Lois, in one of the episodes, they revealed why Lois's husband from another dimension, why he came back, was because of all of that junk that was going on in their dimension, and it looked very similar to that. So I wonder if that's like canon to the Superman, like mythos, if you will, and they're bringing it into this episode, into this series.
It could be. I don't have enough Superman knowledge to speak on it, so I'm not too sure. But Dan in the chat, he mentioned episode 3 had the war flashbacks, because I know that both episodes had a flashback. I don't know what 2 was, but thank you, Dan, for mentioning that there was a war flashback in episode 3.
All right.
And even Silhouette. I'm sorry, I just wanted to mention quick question. Silhouette, he said Injustice inspired in some ways. Oh,
okay.
So that's interesting.
So I'm still liking the show, guys. Like I said, it's getting me. I'm tuned in for the next couple of episodes, honestly. I think it's cute. Like I said before, the most biased judge is in the comments. Thanks for sharing.
He is fantastic. How dare you? No one's calling you biased, Vic. She's talking about Joe, but But talking about this show, I'm
Birthday
feeling
boy
this.
coming up.
This is one of my favorite Superman media kind of shows and stuff like that. I want to give. I think last week I did this because we was looking at this as a one shot and it was so good. We said, oh, let's just pick up on this and continue. Great job, by the way. Watch Superman Lois, watching this show, and I gotta sit there and say Superman's kind of making me a fan. So I'm digging this. This is great. I mean, he at the end of the day, he's gonna be everyone's top 5 superheroes and stuff like that, and I can admit that. But I'm still gonna have Spider-Man in my Mount Rushmore because yes, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm feeling the show nonetheless. It's not about Spider-Man, it's about Superman. So I'm feeling this. I look forward to doing 4 and 5 and seeing where this goes, especially when you mentioned Deathstroke being in there and seeing what he plays in there and Amanda Waller's part and see what other characters that they bring in future episodes.
All right. Well, if you all enjoyed the show and the video, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it with your friends. And don't forget to join us next Wednesday, more than likely. A very special Tuesday episode because it's one of our co-hosts' birthday tomorrow. Jack, bad guy Jack.
That's
Say
right.
happy birthday to him.
Please
So
do.
yeah, next week, hopefully on time, maybe not, you know how it is. And join us then. Bye. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Bye, folks.